Welcome to Georgia Highlands College Math 97 and Math 99 video tutorials. In this video segment, we'll be answering the question, how do you add and subtract or combine fractions with like denominators? Well, it's a very simple process. Because you have like denominators, you have the same piece sizes that you've cut that whole into. So all you're doing when you're adding or subtracting is you're counting up how many of those same piece sizes that you have. So the steps are combine your numerators over your common denominator. So if we look at it theoretically, if we have A over B plus C over D, we have the situation of having like denominators here. So we have our piece size as being B, and A and C is how many of those we have. So we simply combine them, A plus C, and put it over what the piece size was to begin with, which is B. So let's look at that with numbers so it's a little bit clearer. All right, so we have two situations set up here. We have 2/5 plus 1/5 and 2/5 minus 1/5. Now please notice that all of these holes are the same size, and I have all of the holes cut into the same piece size, which is fifths. So let's look at that first one where we are adding. So we start out with 2/5 or two of these pieces that are of the size of being a fifth of the whole. And then we're going to gather up one more of those pieces that are fifths to give us a total of 3/5. So if we use our rule and look at the symbolic representation below, we have 2/5 plus 1/5. Since we have the common piece size, we simply gather up how many of those we have in the numerator by combining them and put them over the common denominator. So we have 3/5 in that first example. Now if we look down where we're subtracting these, we start out with 2/5. So we start out with two of these pieces that are in fifths, or that are of the size of being a fifth. And then we end up taking one of those pieces away. So we started out with two of those pieces that are fifths, but then we end up taking one of those pieces away. So we end up with 1/5. And if we look at it symbolically, we combine our numerators, 2 and -1, or 2 minus 1, over that common piece size of fifths. So 2 minus 1 leaves us with 1/5. So a lot of times it's much easier to look at fractions in the form of pictures. So hopefully this helped you understand that all you're doing is collecting up how many of those same piece sizes that you have whenever you're adding or subtracting fractions. So you're either gathering up more if you're adding them, or you're taking some away from what you have if you're subtracting. Now this is only in the case where you have a common denominator or you have a common piece size between the fractions. If you don't have that, that's for another video. So I hope this has been helpful for you. If you have any other questions about adding or subtracting fractions with common denominators, please contact your Highlands instructor. Thank you.